We are now at a critical point. 300 people per a day in the United States are dying from accidental fentanyl overdoses. We know this is happening because of the opioid crisis. People that are actually pursuing fentanyl are addicted to it, are looking for a high because perhaps they were given some drugs when they got a tooth pulled, and they were turned into addicts searching for something that could sustain those highs. I don't know how to communicate this message more effectively than to simply say that we now live in a society where your children and you cannot experiment with drugs. It's totally different growing up during my time. Nobody was fearful that the stuff that they were consuming was going to be laced with fentanyl, right? I understand that children want to experiment. It's a part of them trying to pursue their freedom. You drink before you're allowed to. I certainly did. I didn't wait until I was 21 years old. You have kids that go to college and they do drugs for a little bit before they get their lives together when they're adults. It no longer is one of those things where you have to be addicted to the drug. You can just be experimenting for your first time, as many people are, and you can drop dead and have your entire life taken away from you. This message has to be communicated effectively to all teenagers right now. You have to make them aware that this is one of the scariest things, one of the scariest crises that I've ever seen in my life taking place in America. We talk about people that are dying of COVID, and we have a ticker every single day across the mainstream media trying to make us fearful that if you get COVID, you will die. And what happens? We all react. People are locking themselves at home. People are wearing masks. There are people today that, even though they are not required to wear masks, still choose to do it because they are that traumatized by the numbers that were on their screens. Why isn't the media trying to communicate the same dangers when it comes to fentanyl? Why aren't we seeing people recognizing how fearful they should be over this very real and not imagined crisis? The latest Customs and Border Protection data shows that from the beginning of this year to August, 12,900 pounds of fentanyl has been seized. That is more than for the entire of 2021, in which 11,200 pounds were confiscated, and shows that 3 times more fentanyl was seized in the first 8 months of this year than in the entire year for 2020, and more than 4 times the total for 2019. Drug use obviously increased throughout the pandemic, with deaths hitting an annual high of 107,521 people in 2021, which is up 51% since 2019.